Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another video and to another Cars on the Road update. We have a very short one today. Probably won't be much to see on screen here, but we have official confirmation that all 9 episodes of Cars on the Road will be dropping at once next Thursday, September 8th, 2022. And honestly, I'm not really a big fan of that. To me, it feels like Disney is kind of doing this show dirty compared to a lot of their other Disney Plus releases. Disney Plus stood out against the competition early on because they were releasing weekly content instead of dropping everything at once. Personally, I was never really a fan of the sort of binge model that Netflix or other streaming services did, and after Disney Plus, a lot of streaming services have adopted a weekly release schedule for their show. Even Netflix released the latest season of Stranger Things in 2 separate volumes. This is completely my personal preference. It's completely my own subjective opinion. I'm just not a big fan of shows that release all of their episodes all at once. To me, it just makes it a bit less enjoyable. You're not waiting for the next episode. You're not waiting to see what'll happen next. You have it all right there, and then it's over like that, because you could just watch it all in one sitting. Most of Disney Plus's major series have been weekly releases. All the Marvel stuff, all the Star Wars stuff, even a lot of the animated content, even Monsters at Work, the Monsters, Inc. animated series from last year, had a weekly release. So it's kind of upsetting to see them treat Cars like this. When Disney Plus drops an entire season of something at once, you know it's a lesser priority for them. You can just tell from what they've dropped all at once in the past. Usually it's shorter animated content like Star Wars Visions or I Am Groot or the Doug Days cartoon, the Up spin-off thing from last year, which released around the same time as On the Road. Another reason why this sort of rubs me the wrong way is because they're releasing it on Disney Plus Day, which I thought was meant to be the anniversary of Disney Plus every year, but apparently not. I love Disney Plus Day, as it's Disney's wild attempt to try to create a holiday in their image. Remember last year when Larry the Cable Guy, when they announced Cars on the Road, said Happy Disney Plus Day? It's not a... The fact that they're releasing On the Road on Disney Plus Day, alongside a bunch of other things like their live-action Pinocchio and the Disney Plus release of Thor Love and Thunder, just kind of makes it a bit muddled to me. I feel like they're just not treating this series how they should be. Again, this is Cars. And yeah, releasing all the episodes at once makes sense for something like this because your primary audience is young kids. You could just sit a kid down, just have them go through all the episodes at once, especially if they are meant to be shorter episodes, which rumor has it that they'll probably be like 11-minute episodes instead of 22 minutes, which I don't really have a problem with. If you look at all the episode premises we know of, it would be kind of hard to stretch out a lot of those episode premises into 20-30-minute episodes. The Cars series for years has proven that they can do really fun short-form storytelling with the Cars tunes, and with these episodes being double the length of a Cars tune, I'm still excited to see what each one will have in store. It's just a little disappointing to me that I feel they aren't really treating this series how they should be. I would prefer if they released it weekly. I would prefer if they didn't just drop it all at once on a day where they release a ton of other content. It's kind of weird to see them treating Cars in this way, which isn't the most popular series with adults or critics, no. And I think that, again, has a big part in it, right? You're choosing to release it all at once so that kids could just watch it all at once and then, go to the store and buy the toys, of which there are barely any out yet. Just saying. This really reminds me of how Netflix handles animation, where they'll just throw out series with very little fanfare, very little promotion at all. They'll just all be up there one day, and the creators of the show and their very few fans will have to be like, hey, watch this show. Of course, this is different. This is Cars. It is getting promoted. You see merchandise in stores already. You have trailers out. I've seen ads on it before YouTube videos. I've seen ads on it on TV. So it is being promoted. It's just a little upsetting to me that it isn't really being treated the way that I personally think it should be. Do I understand their choices? Yeah, but to me, it's just a little upsetting. And again, it's all personal preference because I'm just not a really big fan of the concept of releasing all the episodes at once. Also, and this is another thing that's completely petty and completely subjective and just really pertains to me, as a YouTuber who creates Cars content, as someone who wanted to do breakdowns and reviews of each episode of On the Road as it came out, it's going to be a lot more difficult for me to do if they all release episodes. I know a lot of channels are going to cover them all at once, but it's just my style to go through them one at a time. Give each one the time that it deserves to be discussed, to be broken down, maybe look for any Easter eggs or cool background characters or cars I'd like to see them weeks out from the release of On the Road. And do people even care anymore, right? It kills the hype. Just dropping it all at once, just dumping it all onto Disney Plus at once, just sure it's out, you know, and I'll be reviewing the merchandise they make for it for months, and honestly, at this point, to see it being treated like this. But I want to hear what you guys think. I'm not usually this negative in my videos. I always try to look on the bright side of things, but again, I really want to know what you guys think. I heard a lot of different viewpoints on this matter, saying a lot of different things, and I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. Do you agree? Do you care about the fact that they're making a sequel to Hocus Pocus and that it made it onto the thumbnail of what's next? I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.